YouTube Nation, I'm Unger to the Max. How you doing? A salute to you. You like that? I kind of mixed the old intro with the new intro. Let me know in the comment section below if you like that. So this is the first of probably 2 or 3 videos I'm going to do in a row. Not quite sure. So for this first video, as you can tell, I am a diehard Cleveland Cavaliers fan. And that's a large part of the content that I do on this video. On this channel, I should say. Is Cleveland Cavaliers stuff. But if you know me, my channel is primarily Cleveland Browns based. Again, I am taking the goal that I had from last season and transferring it over to this season of doing a video collaboration for every game on the Browns schedule. So I need help finding a Vikings YouTuber, Bears YouTuber, Lions YouTuber. I'm already talking to a Packers YouTuber. I'm definitely going to work with Sauce Sports again when we play the Houston Texans. I'm definitely working with Jazzy TV for when we play the Bengals. I think I'm going to work with Just Blaze 412 and Steel Twins, for when we play the Steelers, and Engraven Vids for when we play the Ravens. But I don't have a Patriots YouTuber that I'm going to work with yet. Don't have a Broncos YouTuber. I'm going to work with Samoan Raider and Spotlight Raiders Talk again for when we play the Raiders. I'll probably work with Casey Sports Report for when we play the Chiefs. I'm talking with a Chargers fan. I think his channel name is LA Original, if I remember correctly. And I don't have a Broncos YouTuber, so if you know of a Patriots YouTuber, Broncos YouTuber, Lions YouTuber, Vikings YouTuber, or Bears YouTuber, please let me know in the comment section below. Although, now that I think about it, I believe there's a YouTuber named Chicago Audible. So I might reach out to them about doing a video collaboration for when the Browns play the Bears. Anyway, so I'm going to make those video collaborations happen. Hold me to that. But, as I said earlier, another big part of my channel is Cleveland Cavaliers content, as well as WWE, AEW, and the UFC. I also mix some hockey discussions in there, as well as just other sports topics. But for this video, I want to focus on the Cavaliers. So, I was at the Cavaliers game against San Antonio on Friday. Ultimately, we only lost by 6, 116 to 110. But there was a period in that game where the Cavs were down by as many as 22, I believe it was. So, I don't know how to feel about this Cavaliers team right now. I don't. Okay. So, on Wednesday, they defeated the Boston Celtics. On Wednesday, which was St. Patrick's Day, they defeated the Boston Celtics 117 to 110. Right now, the Celtics are top 5 in the Eastern Conference. Although I'm not so sure about that. They look a bit shaky to me. So the Cavs beat the Celtics, but then they come back and lose to the Spurs. Okay, Spurs are a bit of a tough team, but Spurs aren't that great this season. But then we beat the Raptors. Raptors, since they lost Kawhi Leonard, they've kind of been on a downward trend, if you will. I know they had that epic 7-game series with Boston in the playoffs last season, but still, the Raptors aren't exactly the same team. And we host the Sacramento Kings tonight. So going into this game against Sacramento, The Cavaliers currently sit in 12th place in the Eastern Conference with a record of 16-26. They sit behind 11th place Toronto, although this season, I guess you could call them the Tampa Bay Raptors, as the Raptors are actually playing at Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay, because the Canadian government didn't allow them to play in Toronto, because they didn't want opponents crossing the border. That's also why the Blue Jays didn't play in Toronto last season, and they played in Buffalo. Same reason. I don't know what's going to happen this season, because, for example, the Indians are supposed to play the Toronto Blue Jays. So, when those two teams play, are they going to be in Toronto? Or are they going to be, at the Blue Jays spring training facility in Florida, for example? I don't know. Anyway, getting back to NBA basketball. So the top 6 in each conference are guaranteed a playoff spot. No shenanigans, no play-in tournament, no nothing. Top 6 make the playoffs. However, teams ranked in 7th to 10th don't necessarily make the playoffs. They go into a round-robin tournament where they'll play each other, and I guess whoever wins that gets the final 2 playoff spots. So, do I expect the Cavaliers to somehow climb all the way to the top 6 and avoid the round-robin? No. The Cavs are not good enough to do that. I like Colin Sexton. I like Darius Garland. Isaac Okoro hasn't quite lived up to the hype of being the number 5 overall pick. And overall, the Cavs are just a little too young. However, I do think there's a chance they could climb up into the 7 to 10 range and make that round-robin tournament. Hypothetically, let's say the Cavaliers do that, okay? Let's say they overtake Chicago in the 10th spot. Chicago currently has a record of 19-22. That just shows you how bad the Eastern Conference is, right? So, and we play the Bulls on Wednesday in Chicago. That'll be the first time all season the Cavaliers have played the Bulls. I don't know why the schedule makers didn't have us play the Bulls in the first half of the schedule, but it is what it is. We have a bit of an easy schedule coming up. We have Sacramento tonight. Then we have Chicago on Wednesday in Chicago. Then we're at the Lakers, and they're without Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Then we're at Sacramento. So those games are winnable. But then we're at Utah. No chance the Cavaliers win that game. No chance. Anyway, so hypothetically, let's say the Cavaliers not only climb into the round-robin tournament, but let's say they get one of those 2 playoff spots, and they have to either play Philadelphia or Brooklyn. Okay? Well, if we play Brooklyn, I don't think we're going to get swept, even against a full-strength Nets team. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that, and I've been called crazy before, but whatever. I'm just going to shake it off, because you have to in this industry. But I'm going to say that if we get matched up with Brooklyn, hypothetically, in the playoffs, the Cavaliers will not get swept. I could see the Cavs pushing that series to, at maximum, 6 games. 6. If we play Philadelphia in the first round, I'm going to say the Cavaliers lose that series in 5 games. So, not bad, really. But do I honestly think the Cavaliers are going to make the playoffs? Yeah, I do. Colin Sexton at the shooting guard position seems to be flourishing. maybe he was a bit of a playoff snub, to be honest with you. But the All-Star, not a playoff snub, I mean All-Star snub. There we go. So, and Garland, I'm not sure what to make of Darius Garland. Because he has some games where it's like, oh, Darius Garland actually looks good. But then he'll have other games like, what was he even on the floor tonight? Kind of like Draymond Green in Game 6 of the 2016 NBA Finals. I've gone back and watched that game multiple times. Was Draymond Green even on the floor? I don't know. Now, that's probably because, Draymond was, holding back because he didn't want to risk being suspended for Game 7. And we saw what happened in Game 7. He destroyed the Cavs. Nearly had a triple-double. But Steph Curry and Steve Kerr failed because Draymond Green was absolutely on fire in the first half of Game 7. And yet, in the fourth quarter of Game 7, in your own home building of Oracle Arena, Draymond could not be found. Go back to Game 5. Klay Thompson was absolutely shooting the lights out in potentially a closeout game for the Warriors. And he was pretty much making everything in sight. Second half, couldn't be found. I'm sorry, but that's on you, Steph Curry, and that's on you, Steve Kerr. Steph Curry, you're the point guard of the team. You gotta find the hot guy. And here's another problem with the Warriors, okay? I don't see them running very many set plays. I don't. And maybe you see it differently, but I don't. And I've touched on this before. I think the Warriors need another championship to prove that, 2015 wasn't a fluke and 2017 and 2018 are valid. Because there's people like me who say, if the Cavaliers were fully healthy in 2015, they would have beaten the Golden State Warriors. And then 2017 and 2018, those titles aren't valid because you added Kevin Durant, who was like, oh, well, when I was with the Oklahoma City Thunder, I couldn't beat Golden State. I was up 3-1 against them in the 2016 Western Conference Finals. But me and Russell Westbrook choked. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go join them. So no. To me, Golden State needs to win another title. I've touched on this in another video, so I will post a link for that video in the description of this video. But yes, I am saying it right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers will make the playoffs. Now, here's the thing. I think in order for us to potentially do that, we've got to get rid of Andre Drummond because, he's just sitting on the bench doing nothing. We're probably going to buy him out or trade him, one of the two. And it hurts for me to say this, but maybe we do need to trade Kevin Love and let Larry Nance Jr. be in the starting lineup. Maybe. So you heard it here first. Cleveland Cavaliers will make the playoffs. I'm Unger to the Max, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe to my channel by punching that subscribe button like a UFC fighter. And give that like button a punch to the face. Like Stipe Miocic will hopefully do to Francis Ngannou this weekend at UFC 260. And remember, Stipe Miocic brought home the first title to Cleveland in 2016, not the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers brought home the most significant title, but Stipe brought home the first. I will see you next time